He wasn't eating comida dominicana. What are they? You know, the
arroz con gandules.
arroz, like big poppies. Like he likes it, right? Hey guys, Talk Shit Sports. We are here a little late,
Just a tad.
but better than ever because we got a big week this week. I know you're doing opening day, a lot of
Opening day baseball. Yeah, that's incredible. I mean, hey, baseball's back. Finally, 162 games, back to the normal marathon that is the regular season for MLB, not this 60-game sprint. But anyways.
It's okay. We're favored to go back to back, you know.
Yeah, yes, you are.
So we'll see. But, you know, I know there's a lot of big things happening this week. I know you've been in the studio. I mean, you got a lot of stuff covering the MLB and a lot of big things.
It's a lot of boxing coming up, which we'll talk about later. But yeah, it's fun. It's a fun time of year. This is always a fun time of year. You know, next week we got the Masters, but you know, another big event this week.
Well, we got to do our Masters, our golfing. We're the Masters at the Masters. You know?
Well, we're Masters, but because of another reason.
We're Masters with the beer and the gimmies and the mulligans. But you know, it's been a big week. March Madness. We got 4 teams left. We got Jaime. And we got Jaime Jaquez.
Jaime Jaquez. Man, my boy is he's playing some mean ball. I mean, UCLA is in the Final Four. From the first 4 to the Final Four. Who would have thunk it? You know, a team that lost its last 4 regular season games. And most people didn't even think that UCLA was going to be in the tourney. And here you are, a team that has been outshot their last 3 games in the tournament. Outshot, and they're still in the Final Four.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing. What are they? Were they ranked number 11?
They're seeded 11th.
They're ranked number 11.
I believe the last 11th seed to get there was VCU, if I'm not mistaken.
But their game's been going down to the wire.
Every single
overtime, the wire.
You know what? Let's tell Ms. Cronin, the one thing that UCLA needs to do is button down their defense
at the
very end of the game.
It's button it down and make their shots.
Yeah, I mean, they can't defend worth a lick in the last few seconds of games. I mean,
because the last game they should have won by at least 6, 7, 8 points.
Yes,
I mean they went on a drought. I mean it was very low scoring game. But Jaime Jaquez didn't have his best game.
No, he barely had any points.
But he was rebounding, defending. I saw he still was doing other things. But yeah, they look good. I mean, but they got a big challenge with Gonzaga. I mean. Is it Gonzaga? I don't know how you say it.
I don't know, but the Zags. They look like a team that could be probably one of the, lowly teams in the NBA. I mean, this team has probably one of the most fluid offenses I've seen in the last few years in college basketball. It's incredible. They've got a great set of guards. They've got a great big, 2 good bigs. I mean, not only that, but they stay in school, for 3-4 years. It's not the one and done type of thing that you get with the Kentuckys, you get with the Kansas, Carolinas, stuff like that, the big programs. Gonzaga is a big program. It's getting from mid-major to real big. And not only that, they're 51-1 in their last 52 games. And I believe from the start of the 2019 season, they're 59-2.
I mean, look, I texted you during the game. I said, these guys got big mustaches like they're like the Johnny Holmes mustache.
Yes.
With the it's not even in the middle. It's like over here, right? And USC had peach fuzzes.
Yes.
Like grown men versus boys. I mean, there's a big difference. You stay 4 years at a college, a red shirt, maybe now it's 5 years.
Yeah.
What are you, how old? 23 years old?
Yeah, 22, 23.
Versus 18-year-olds? I mean, it's a little different college. I mean, organization they got going on there. I mean, USC, these guys, UCLA, they go one and done. They're 1 year and they're into the pros. That's why, I mean, I think that's why it makes Gonzaga a really powerhouse school, because a lot of their players don't even go to the NBA. But they're really good in college.
I saw something Jimmy Kimmel did the other day on Gonzaga, and he goes, nobody's been able to prove to me that the university actually exists other than this basketball team. Nobody knows, whether, there's an actual school in Spokane, Washington, which is called Gonzaga. And he goes, the only person that he found that was a famous alumni was Bing Crosby.
Bing Crosby?
That's what he said.
Oh, my God.
So, yeah. I mean, hey, Upper Northwest,
I went to
Pacific
Spokane.
Northwest.
I went to Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. You got to fly into Spokane. I went there this summer. And I was like, oh, this is the Washington State, Spokane.
Yep.
And I was like, Gonzaga's here. They're like, no. They're not in Spokane. They're like south in some little town. I'm like, so maybe Jimmy Kimmel's right. What is Gonzaga?
Exactly. Nobody really knows.
It's not in Spokane. It's in a little town in somewhere south of Spokane. So who knows?
But yeah, they look
They could be
amazing.
in Yellowstone. Who knows where they're at, right?
They look amazing. Timmy, their center, their big guy, the guy with the Fu Manchu mustache,
whatever his name is.
He looks
the Johnny
incredible.
Huh.
And I think he's going to be a lottery pick in the NBA. They probably got two guys that can go top 10 in the NBA.
Well, they got Suggs. He's really good.
They've got a great team.
They said Suggs could be a football player too. He's really good. Look, UCLA. I support the local team, but I think they're done.
Yeah, I don't think that one's going to be.
Sorry, Tony.
Too much of a matchup.
We got a buddy Tony asking you for advice. I said, "Come on, you can't even, how you ask that question?"
Well, it all depends. Look at the line. Look at the money line. Look at how much Gonzaga's favored by. Maybe you want to go first half. Bet the first half instead of like the whole game. There's several different ways that you can go about it and actually make some money.
I mean, if UCLA upsets them, great, but I don't think it's happening.
I don't think it's happening.
But then
either.
you got the West Coast against Texas.
Yeah,
Texas.
Pretty much. Yeah, that's what it's going to be because the winner of that one, it's the West Coast,
right?
And then the other one we've got Houston and Baylor,
which is not far from each other.
No, not far from each other either.
Few hour drive, I think.
So I think Baylor is a much better team than Houston. Houston struggled to get out and get into the Final Four. Baylor. The problem with Baylor that they had during the season was that they really had some struggles with COVID. If I'm not mistaken, they went like 17 days without playing or something like that because of the fact that it was either their team or somebody else. I mean, it was a bad situation for Baylor. So now that they're playing again, I think they're finding their rhythm. This is a team that can get up and down the court real fast. So they're very athletic. They've got some big guys in the middle. If it's Baylor against Gonzaga in the final on next Monday, it's going to be probably the best game that you can see on paper, for a championship in the last few years. So I'm really excited about it, but I'm going to have to go with the Zags to take it all.
Well, I said whoever beats the Zags will win the whole thing. So
absolutely.
If UCLA upsets Zags, I believe they'll win. They'll beat Baylor or Houston.
Yeah, because if you can really, throw in some defensive wrinkles and make Mark Pugh's team just, I don't know, have a short circuit somewhere down, because that team, it's just, Gonzaga just looks perfect.
Well, I mean, I watched them play, but when they played UCLA and UCLA came in hot. I mean USC. With the Mlb brother, I mean, they came in hot, good game, and they just played like it was a practice game.
It was over in like 6, 7, 8 minutes. It was done. It was done.
I thought the second half we were coming back. I texted you, but that was short lived.
No chance.
I think whoever beats the Zags will win the whole thing, and I think the Zags are going to win this whole thing. I mean, they're just, like you said, they look like a great team. And then we have the ladies. We got UConn, Arizona. UConn is a great school.
UConn. I believe UConn is in the Final Four for the 15th straight year, something like that. Something ridiculous.
I think UCLA is men's is the Final Four. It was like 18. It was second to, was it North Carolina? I forgot. They were up there too. I saw those stats. But the ladies, UConn, Arizona, and then Stanford right here.
There you go.
Stanford, South Carolina. Got to rep. Well, look, my kids' school.
All four teams in the women's Final Four are really good this year. Gino Auriemma, he pretty much owns the Final Four. So does Tara Vanderway, the coach for Stanford. She's been there forever. She's always had great programs. And it's not like if you go to Stanford, you get in because you're just a good athlete. No, you have to be a tremendous scholar. It's very rigorous, as you know, for people that go to Stanford. So for Stanford to be this dominant for the last 20 years or so and make it to another Final Four, hey, hats off. I think, so the game is UConn-Stanford?
UConn-Arizona.
Oh, UConn-Arizona. Oh, man, I would love to see a UConn-Stanford game. Talk about...
It's gonna happen,
That's a heavyweight matchup right there.
I mean, Stanford had the biggest comeback this season, just the last game, just to get to the Final Four.
Yeah, that would be like,
two heavyweights, right?
Two heavyweights going at it. But watch out for South Carolina.
Yeah, South Carolina's got a good school.
It's a very, very good squad.
Yeah, they're a very good school. So that'd be great. And then also news with the men's college, UNC, Roy Williams retired.
Wow, that came out of nowhere.
It came today, right? It came out today, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the thing about UNC is it's a school with a lot of tradition, Dean Smith, and then after that, Roy Williams. It's
forever.
It's a school where you don't see a lot of change as far as coaching is concerned. So I'm really interested to see where they're going to go, and it has to be someone with a Tar Heel background. They're not just going to go out and get a hired gun. When you coach one of those universities, you have to be part of the family. So I don't know who it's going to be, but it's interesting because honestly, in the last few years, the Tar Heels haven't been that powerful. Before it used to be
Duke, and
it was right? Duke and North Carolina,
right?
And pretty much you knew that whoever had the best squad was probably going to be the one that was going to advance the furthest in the tournament. But for the last 5 years or so, the Tar Heels haven't been good. I mean, so much so that I was watching a Miami North Carolina game this year, and the play-by-play and the color guy were saying, well, it's been a while since North Carolina has been this bad, and they weren't favored to beat Miami, which had a horrible season. So yeah, a lot of problems down in Chapel Hill, and I don't know. We'll see who comes in and takes Roy Williams' place. Another Hall of Famer in college basketball.
I mean, just think of the alumni that comes out of North Carolina.
Yeah,
the great James Worthy, Michael Jordan. I mean, there's so many. I mean,
Sam Perkins, you name it. I mean, just a bunch of people. I mean, North Carolina has had just a wide array of players that have been in the NBA.
They might shake it up. You never know. USC used to be the same exact ritual with football. It's got to be in-house, and then they just got a new AD and they changed the whole thing.
But where's USC now?
Yeah, because they got the death penalty. That was or what about these other schools, right? How about Miami, for example?
Oh yeah, well,
they should have got a life sentence.
Well, Miami was close. Miami was very close.
Investigate Miami back in the day.
Very close.
Yeah.
Trust me, I know.
They were hanging with Pablo Escobar in the club. And everything. Yeah, he was probably one of the boosters.
Yeah.
So that's college.
Uncle Luke.
Yeah, Luke Skywalker, right? Uncle Luke, he was there. I saw Uncle Luke hanging out with George Lopez the other day. I was like, what are these guys?
Wow.
At Arsenio Hall's house. Imagine me at that house, right?
Oh, wow.
They were having a good time.
Oh, absolutely.
That's about college sports there. Now we have a big day today. MLB Opening Day. We talked about this in the beginning. Jimmy Weed has been doing some big work in the opening day stuff, right?
Oh, it's always exciting for MLB Opening Day. I don't know. It just gets my juices flowing. Baseball, I love baseball. I played baseball since I was a little kid. So I love baseball and getting, all the stats ready and everything for such a long season. It's always special to me to have opening day. And a day before opening day, we got the big news that Francisco Lindor signed an extension with the Mets for 10 years, $341 million, the third richest contract in Major League Baseball history.
I think Mike Trout and then Mookie Betts.
Mike Trout, Mookie Betts, and then Francisco Lindor, and then Fernando Tatis Jr. Those are the four highest paid players right now. After that, I believe
it don't matter. He's in the Mets anyways.
Well, and the Mets had their first game suspended because they were going to play the Nationals, and the Nationals got a case of COVID. I don't know if it was one or more players, but here we go again. Now that we're getting people in the stands, we're going to have fans, and all of a sudden, more than one person tested positive for the Nationals. So I don't know if it was just players or if it was somebody in the staff, but hopefully they get that taken care of. You don't want to start the season like that.
Well, COVID's not going away. I heard a rumor. I don't know if it was a rumor, but I heard professional sports are going to do, if you have a vaccine, if you get vaccinated, they're not going to test you every day. So more people get vaccinated. It's like an encouragement.
Funny enough, the NFL is not going to require players to have a vaccine.
To not have it.
They're not going to require the players to get vaccinated. So, which I thought was, pretty interesting.
I heard if they were vaccinated, they were going to test them every day. That now they're testing every day, every day, and they're getting tired of it. So it's like, we'll get vaccinated then, and we won't test you every day. Well, I don't know, whatever. We got vaccinated.
Yeah, we got vaccinated. I
got 5G in me. I'm 5G. All right, 5G. What's great about opening day, Jimmy, is that we're gonna put. If you're watching this on YouTube, we're gonna have a picture up here. How cool is that? At Fox made the. What is that?
Right.
Cookies? What is it?
They were cookies.
Yeah.
Cookies for the Fox lineup for the entire season. All the broadcasters on Fox FS1 and Fox Deportes. So they sent us something. I'll show you here.
Well, we'll put it up on YouTube. If you're watching us on YouTube, you can see it.
You can see it.
We'll post it on Instagram too. On our Instagram page.
Yeah, I've got it on my page already. If you guys want to check it out, Jimmy Boy LA on Instagram.
It should be Jimmy Boy Miami. I don't know what it says LA. But.
And so, they made shortbread cookies with everybody's picture, everybody's face.
It's really cute.
So it's really cool. It's
cute.
Really cool.
Really cute. Let me ask you a question. Who's getting the special cookie? Who's going to get the Jimmy Weed special cookie? He's going to eat. At the gym. There's some people that
Yeah, at my house, the kids were saying, "Oh no, we'll save Dad's just so we can throw darts at it."
That's a prospecting tool for a date.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we'll see.
So what? We had a great day.
I'll keep it around.
So if you want Jimmy's cookie, just Jimmy Boy LA at Instagram, right? You can reach him there. But MLB, I'm excited because I'm actually going to get to see the Dodgers in person. It's been. What, 2 years? No, a year and a half. About a year and a half.
It's been a while.
It's been a year and a half because it's been since last year. I just couldn't go to Texas and watch it. It didn't seem right. Like, it just was weird.
I was going to go to the 2020 season was strange, no matter what. I just did the translation for a special Dodger show that will air on Friday on Fox Deportes. I believe it airs probably Friday as well on Fox Sports about the entire season, but mainly what the postseason was for the Dodgers. And it's incredible to hear some of the players and to think, what, we're going to get canceled. We're going to get shut down. We're not going to play. The fact that the season actually happened was incredible. Even Clayton Kershaw at one point said, "You know what? I don't know if we're going to be able to play, especially after the Marlins and then St. Louis had that big COVID outbreak. Everybody said, oh, what's going to happen now? Because it was touch and go pretty much with every single team. The good thing about the Dodgers was they got together and they were one of the few teams that said, you know what? We're not going to play around. The players had a players only meeting and said, you know what? This is what we want to do. We're professionals and we're going to police ourselves. If anybody stepped out, and went partying or did something, they were going to have to, deal with the players themselves. So they kept a very tight-knit group, and they knew exactly what they were there for, which was to win the World Series. So hats off to them, because it's difficult in a place like LA, even though, you know, we did have a lot of COVID restrictions in California. It's still LA. It's still a big city. There's still
like a
lot of things to do.
It was like the epicenter of the world, LA County.
And so, you know, it's like New York. You know, you can go out in New York. You can do a lot of things in New York.
Right.
Miami, I mean, the Marlins are the ones that had the biggest outbreak early on. Why? Because everybody kept going out. Florida's a different story, though. I mean,
Florida was open.
Florida has remained open pretty much throughout the entire thing. But, you know, the Dodgers took it upon themselves, and they were very responsible about it.
It's called leadership. I think Mookie Betts had a lot to do with that. Kershaw. I mean, they got good respect. Justin Turner. Well, he ended up getting COVID.
And he ended up getting COVID at the very end. Wow.
One get-together they had in Texas.
Yes.
The one barbecue they had, somebody got COVID, which is... But, you know, I'm glad he came out and took a picture with everybody. I know the COVID thing is serious, but... Man, to be there and do that, they got, you know, it was just... That was... Oh, my God. I mean, that was just... What a crazy season.
It could have potentially been a PR nightmare.
Yeah.
For the Dodgers.
But it's not. So we got the championship. We're good. We are good. We're good. And we're starting here in a few minutes. We'll be going live, the Dodgers. There's a lot of good things happening today. The first home run was from Miggy in the snow.
Yeah. Oh, my God. A blizzard. I don't know if you guys caught it. But Detroit, every time that you play early April...
How do you see the ball?
Like, for example, Minnesota, Detroit, huge blizzard in Detroit.
I don't get it. I don't get why. I don't get it.
I don't either.
How do the Lions have a dome and the Tigers play outside and it doesn't make any sense? Why do it doesn't make no sense?
Yeah.
They should start the season in Tiger Stadium. I mean, you know, in the not Tigers, but Lion Stadium.
Yeah.
I mean, have you ever tried to look up at snow? How white, all the white coming down?
Yeah, you can't see anything.
How are you going to see a ball?
No, you can't. Well,
That's
as
how
a matter of fact,
run.
last year, when the season started, you know, even though, you know, we weren't playing because of COVID, there was a huge blizzard in Denver. So there, you know, the Rockies said, can you imagine if we had to play? Today, apparently, it's going to be a nice day out in Colorado, out in Denver. So the Dodgers are going to do, you know, they're going to be fine to get their game in. But that's another city that early on in the year, you know, Denver is a little crazy as far as the weather's concerned. Because one day it could be sunny and 75, and the next day you're snowed in.
Yeah, I stayed in Denver for 6 months. It's a Denver interesting city. Like you said, it could be blizzard one day and the next day 60 degrees with the sun's out. You know, it's which a lot of people, they like that because it's the Rocky Mountains and all that. But you know, I played baseball growing up, and playing in the snow, I mean, in cold weather is not fun at all.
Oh my God.
I don't even like golfing in the cold weather.
Oh my God.
Just like the hitting the ball. And luckily it's a wooden bat, not a metal bat. If you get
an inside pitch and it hits like, you know, right above your hands, oh my God, that hurts. So it stings. I mean, when you get buzzed inside, that's no fun in the cold weather.
You know, I was looking at the opening day, some stuff right now. I saw Vlad Guerrero Jr. He's like half the size he was last year.
Oh, well, maybe he took the pandemic, you know, he took the time to work out.
He wasn't eating comida dominicana. What are they? You know, the
arroz con gandules.
Arroz, like big papis. Like he likes it, right? Yeah,
I think that's a big boy.
Yeah.
You know, I think Toronto's going to be one of the surprise teams this year. They got Simeon from the Oakland A's, and he's now their second baseman. They've got Bo Bichette.
They got Ryu, our old pitcher.
Yeah,
he started
Ryu,
today.
He started.
Yeah.
They've got Biggio's son. They've got Guerrero Jr. They've got Gurriel Jr. I mean, it's like a young stud team. I mean, this team is stacked. And in the future, watch out for the Blue Jays.
Well, they're saying the Blue Jays are the White Sox too. The White Sox. The
White Sox that's another team.
They're saying
they were there last year, but
they're saying the Angels. But the only thing with the Angels is the pitching. They don't have the pitching.
They have no pitching.
They got good offense.
They've got no pitching. I looked at the roster, as a matter of fact. I don't know if it was last night or the night before when the Angels, you know, set out their 40-man roster, and I looked at the pitching staff and I'm like, who are these guys?
Who, the Anaheim Angels?
Yeah, I couldn't recognize one name that you'd say, oh, well, this guy.
Sorry, the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim.
That's right. That's what it is. That's what it is.
They should be the Disneyland Angels or Orange County.
Another team that, MLB.com has them on the top 5 as far as the rotation is concerned is the Yankees. I don't see how. I mean, they've got, other than Garrett Cole, everybody else pretty much has an asterisk next to their name just because they're coming off of injury. It's potential, but they really haven't shown whether they can do it. So I'm a little iffy on the Yankees, even though they're the favorites to get to the World Series in the American League.
And then you have the A's. Every year the A's are somehow find a way to win.
That's if you ask me which team overperforms year in and year out, it's Oakland.
With no names.
Always do.
No names.
They always do it.
They play Moneyball. They have no names. They just like the movie. They're really good at their prospects.
Billy Bean, man. Billy Bean.
They're good at the farm league system, and they don't pay anybody.
No, they don't.
Rumor has it that they're knocking down the Ryu Palace in Vegas and building the Oakland A's stadium there to bring the A's to Las Vegas.
Wow.
I mean, that would be...
Man, poor Oakland.
I mean, poor Oakland.
They lost the Raiders. They're gonna.
Oh, the Raiders are the traitors. They go every here and there.
They're gonna lose. Maybe the A's, the Warriors.
The Raiders may go back.
The Warriors play now in San Francisco. They're not the Oakland. They don't play in Oakland they used to.
Well, San Francisco wants them now because they're winning. They're winning. Oh, well, now we'll build you a stadium.
Exactly. Yeah. Except for this year, they're not winning. So
yeah, and then you have the Santa Clara 49ers.
That's right.
I mean, the San Francisco 40. It takes you an hour to get down there. 2 hours in traffic.
The only team that's actually in the city is the Giants.
Yeah.
And they were close to being the San Jose Giants as well at one point.
Well, rumor has that even Oakland wanted to bring down the A's to close to Santa Clara.
Jose, yeah.
Santa Clara. That's where all the money
Silicon Valley.
I mean, I don't know. Poor Oakland, diehard Oakland fans.
Yes.
They
I know a few. And every year.
It was Oakland and going at it.
Remember, like in the 80s, late 80s, Oakland had one hell of a team. 88 when the last time the Dodgers won the World Series, they beat the Oakland A's, which were just stacked.
And then the A's won the next year. They beat the Giants.
They beat the Giants in the year of the earthquake. Yeah, they swept them.
That was Kevin Mitchell, Will Clark, those guys on Giants, right?
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, but the A's they were a better team than the Dodgers in '88, and we still beat them.
They sure were.
We beat them.
They sure were.
So
Dennis Eckersley.
They just carried it over. Dave Stewart, all those guys. They were just good. But the A's were the team of the Bay, not the Giants.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden the Giants got lucky a few years back and won 3 out of 5 years.
3 out of 5. 3 out of 5. Every even year they won.
That's old news. We don't talk about that right now. But it is opening day and it's a new day. And it's 2021.
I love it. By the way, I don't understand what happens to a player when they put on a Laker jersey. It's like their kryptonite or something.
What do you mean kryptonite?
Yeah, I mean, Anthony Davis.
We're talking about basketball now?
And your boy,
who?
Drummond comes in and he loses a nail or something, and now I don't know how long he's going to be out.
Maybe he was getting a pedicure at Sunset earlier in the day and he lost his nail, We'll glue that nail back on for him. He'll be fine. It's just a toenail. Give him a shot in the big toe and get him back on the floor. I don't know. Maybe they're starstruck when they go into Staples Center. They look up on the right.
Idea.
It's not the Clippers where they try to hide the banners. They're hiding.
Did you see the somebody send us a message?
Oh, I saw that.
With like the power rankings
in LA, right?
Of basketball in LA.
Yeah, I got it right here.
Which I thought they were pretty funny.
I got it right here. Number 1, Lakers. Number 2, UCLA.
Yes.
Number 3, USC. Number 4, Sierra Canyon High School.
Sierra Canyon High School.
Where LeBron's kid goes, right? And number 5, the Clippers. It's kind of true.
It is kind of true. It is kind of true.
It's funny about that school, Sierra Canyon. I mean, some of you guys have probably seen it on TV or heard about it. LeBron's kid goes there. I think D Wade's kid goes there. A lot of. So I live literally a few miles from that school. Like, I used to live a few miles. I never heard of that school. It came out of nowhere. It just popped up off the 118 freeway one day. I was like, what the heck is this? What is it? I saw a field down there. I was like, this school
came out. Something popped up. Right?
Came out of nowhere. I grew up in the valley. Like it just came out of nowhere. But it's a powerhouse school. I met a guy the other day. His daughter got recruited from here to go there to play softball. And now they're in college. So it's a good school for sports.
Yeah.
But yeah, Sierra Canyon, they're better than the Clippers. Speaking of NBA, we got the Nets. The Nets are, I heard Manny Pacquiao signing with the Nets.
They're trying to sign absolutely everyone right now. Canelo Alvarez just signed apparently too with the Nets.
Breaking news: Oscar De La Hoya is now with the Nets. And but for Aldridge to go to the Nets, that made no sense. He had Blake Griffin there. They're saying he should have went to the Clippers. Like, if you want to go to a team where you can actually play Drummond, it makes sense. He's going to play right away.
Yeah, because
even though he lost his toenail, he's still going to play right away. But
he's going to have to fight for minutes with Marc Gasol, but
Marc Gasol, either or. Gasol came in yesterday, he looked good. But Gasol, obviously, he's not as athletic as some of these.
Drummond, yeah.
But just having Drummond and AD in there, like a Twin Towers again, that's going to be dangerous. They're showing Drummond his rebounds, like per game, 13 rebounds, and 5 of them are offensive rebounds. It's gonna be interesting. But yeah, Aldridge and Nets, these guys, I don't know. NBA, they're talking about the buyout, how it's hurting the league. Why these guys getting bought out? And then they're just going to a team that's already in contention, which they really don't make a big difference. They're saying.
Look, that's the difference between the NBA and pretty much any other league. The fact that the players can buy out their contract or whatever, and then pretty much decide where they want to go. And it starts with, all these stars that say, well, I don't want to play here anymore, and they don't play up to their potential and whatnot, and they put the team behind the 8 ball, and it's difficult for them to try and move them, because the player has already said, well, I'm not going to go, to any other team but this one. What? And so,
and then there's no trade. So
and yeah, exactly. And then there's no trade. But who started all this? Who's the one that started the whole super team thing?
The Celtics.
No, LeBron.
What are you talking about? Kevin Garnett, Ray Allen, Paul Pierce, they got together.
Oh yeah, a little before that.
Friggin' Boston Celtics. All you Celtics fans out there, you started all this crap. Don't blame LeBron. You can't blame LeBron. It's the Celtics' fault. Right? Is it true? People don't talk about Garnett, Pierce, Ray Allen getting together. That was an unstoppable team.
Yeah,
they killed us in the finals. Then we came back, and after I think it was they beat us, and then we beat Orlando. And then we came back against them and we won. But shoot, they started it all, and LeBron just was guilty by association.
Yeah. He just wanted to take his time.
Well, look at the Lakers and Nets have NBA execs pressing for buyout changes because of this.
Yes, and I think something needs to be done.
Yeah, they're talking about, and then also too the NBA, the Utah Jazz, they're playing Hit Some Birds. They're talking about they're freaking out. They blew out an engine. You see that on takeoff?
Oh no, I didn't see that.
Yeah, they were They thought it was over. I guess the plane hit some birds coming out of Salt Lake City, and one of the engines blew out. It was on fire. They had to make an emergency landing, and
maybe one of the birds got hit by a Randy Johnson fastball and went into the engine. I don't know.
That was pretty crazy. But they were talking about that on their way to Memphis to play the Grizzlies. But the Jazz are a good team.
Well, they're the best team in the NBA right now. They've got the best record in the NBA.
I know a lot of Jazz fans. I'm going to be in Utah and I think next month I'll be out there. Or no, this month, April. And I'm hoping there's a game there so I can go. Because I got to see it for myself. Are they really that good?
Look, I'll tell you one thing, which is what I tell everybody. The regular season in the NBA is not as important. Yes, seeding maybe, but it all comes down to the playoffs. It all comes down to how you perform in the postseason. And when you're playing, after the first series, that is 3 out of 5, when you start playing, a best of 7 series, that's when you really find out who the good teams are, because you need to exploit the matchups. You need to do everything night in and night out. So I'm really curious to see how far the Utah Jazz get in the playoffs.
Denver has their number.
Yeah, I think Denver is going to have a lot of people's numbers.
Yeah, well, they just got Gordon from Orlando. I mean, he's a good player.
So, I think Denver.
And we got Denver's
scary
number. We'd rather play Denver than we play the Jazz. I think the Jazz match up with us a little bit better than Denver for some reason.
Yeah.
Or the Clippers. We play the Clippers better too.
Well, the Clippers, you know what?
They're going to lose second round, you think? Who they lose?
Again,
Portland?
I believe so. And
them?
after that, it's time to blow up the Clippers.
Send them to Seattle.
Again.
I'm telling you, they're cursed here in LA. They got to go to Seattle or go to San Diego, back to San Diego. Seattle Supersonics. Boom, there it is, Clippers. Yep. Make some condos there at the Forum, wherever that land he bought, the owner. Build some condos there, or build a water park in Inglewood, for the community, do something nice there.
Yeah.
If I was him, I would do the same thing where I'm from.
Steve Ballmer?
Yeah, build a little nice water park where, for the community. So all the homies can go there and get it going instead of slip and slide. But there's big news that LeBron's trying to recruit Steph Curry to the Lakers.
That would be huge. I mean, the way that they got along during the All-Star game,
you got a glimpse of
incredible. Whoa. I mean, can you imagine? They would be unstoppable. You've got the best shooting guard in the NBA, the best, shooter in the last 20 years, I would say, easily.
Best three-pointer shooter ever, probably, right?
Stephen Curry, yeah. Absolutely. Even though I believe Larry Bird would probably have something to say about that. But
he's a Celtic. So.
Steph Curry and LeBron on the same team, wow.
I think what it is for LeBron, he's old. He's getting older, so he needs a guy
the only reason he's sticking around is because he wants to have his son
from Sarah Canyon High School.
Yeah, come into the league and get drafted by the Lakers, and he wants to play with Bronny. That's his whole plan. Well, and he won't retire until that happens.
I don't see why Curry would not want to come to LA to the Lakers and retire. I mean, he seems like his wife is on TV.
The only problem is how do you fit that contract? I mean, he got a huge max contract, and if you have LeBron, if you have Anthony Davis, and you have Steph Curry, I don't know if there's enough money under the cap to actually get that done.
Well, LeBron's gonna have to take a notebook out of Tom Brady's, game plan and give up some money.
Well, something's going to have to be done, because just like that, I don't see the contracts fitting in.
I could see, Curry coming to LA. His wife is on TV personality. Come to LA, finish out my career. But unless he wants to be just a Golden State Warrior, I don't know if that's the case.
Well, he
nowadays,
is the face.
Who knows? Yeah.
He is the face of the Golden State Warriors.
That would be crazy. Think about it. He comes to LA and then Klay Thompson didn't want to come to LA, and his dad's still an announcer for LA.
Yeah, can you imagine?
I mean, he had the opportunity to come to LA.
Yeah,
Klay Thompson.
I know he did,
but he wanted to stay.
And he got paid, he got paid
to get hurt.
State, and he's been hurt for the last 2 years.
Well, that would be crazy, but that's the future. But right now, we still got to focus on the championship here with the Lakers. And don't forget, everybody, LeBron and AD are getting healthy. They're resting.
I think the best thing that happened. I don't know about AD.
They didn't have an offseason.
I don't know about AD. I honestly am worried about AD, and I'll tell you why. Because they say it's a calf strain. But this is the same thing. This is the same thing that happened to Kevin Durant.
But he didn't heal Durant. He played.
Right. Well, no. He played after a while.
He was supposed to not go in that game, and he still went in the game to prove people wrong.
But I think Anthony Davis, he needs to stay out as long as he needs to, because if he comes back early, if he's not 85% when he comes back, he's not going to be of any use to the Lakers.
It's fine. Drummond's going to fill in for him right now. We got Drummond, Braun. We come in, we lock it at 3, 4, 5, whatever spot. We're good there. I would look. The lower we go, the more danger is for the first and second seed.
True.
I mean, they better watch out because and let him fully heal. Let AD take as much time as he has to take. They say he's practicing right now. He's been practicing. So who knows? I don't know. But that's NBA. And we got a lot more to talk about here with the shirt.
That's the reason I brought this shirt out today. You know, I've got Manny Pacquiao. I don't know if you guys can see it. Manny Pacquiao and Juan Manuel Marquez.
Which we're talking boxing.
Which we're talking
UFC,
boxing.
Or MMA.
Or everything. Well,
I think it's combined.
Manny Pacquiao apparently is in talks to fight Terrence Crawford in Abu Dhabi in June, I believe.
In Abu Dhabi?
Abu Dhabi.
Right there.
Why? Because they're going to
pay him a lot.
A huge site fee. So Pacquiao, Crawford.
So they get a site fee on the side? It's a side thing?
Well, the promoter gets a huge site fee, which from there they can, pay the boxers as well. I believe Anthony Joshua is also looking for a big site fee to fight Fury in the Far East, in Abu Dhabi or somewhere like that. I mean, he's already fought in Saudi Arabia.
Look, man, if I'm an American fighter or anywhere on this side of the world, I don't want to fight over there. It's a different time zone. It's different. Everything's different. It just gives advantage.
Millions of reasons for them to actually do it. I mean, Pacquiao's fought.
The money makes sense.
In Macau,
he's from Philippines.
Yeah. So for him,
he goes all over. For him, I don't think it's a big deal.
Right.
But an American fighter that's fought most of his fights here in the U.S., it's different when you go to international and you're eating different food and you're eating different this, and it's just, I don't know.
Well, that's one guy.
Crawford's good.
And then we have just a bunch of people, even though, by the way, the Andy Ruiz, Chris Arreola fight is May 1st, Fox pay-per-view. That was announced.
And they're having fans.
But then we go into the comedic side of prize fighting, I guess you could say. Because we have Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. Fighting Anderson the Spider Silva in an exhibition match in June in Guadalajara, Mexico. Why? That's my question. My question is why? And it's at a catch weight of 180 pounds. I believe Anderson Silva could probably, beat Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. just because of the fact that you never know with Junior. I mean, he trains when he wants to train, especially now that it's 180 pounds. He might be even heavier come fight.
The only advantage he has is he's a boxer.
Yeah.
And that's it.
And you know what? He can take a lot of punches.
Yeah, and he's a boxer. He got a knockout punch. If he connects, he's...
Yeah, as well. But that's
like you said, we don't know if he's partying all night long with Manda.
Yeah, we don't know. He's a strange cat.
He
really is a strange cat.
Oh, that's the privileged kid.
Yeah.
His dad was famous.
Yeah, he never really had to fight. Like most boxers, they get into it because they need an avenue to get out.
They're hungry.
They're hungry. They're from very
look at the guy the other day
means.
From TJ, Angel Fierro.
Yes.
They were yelling at him about his kid and his daughter on the side.
And he came back and he knocked the hell out of the Boricua.
I mean, that's that. These guys come from the slums and they just want to they want to better. They're not doing it for themselves. They're doing it for their family, and it's a big deal for them. It's like the guys that get drafted to the NFL or NBA. You see their whole family are crying because that moment just changed their whole life.
Yes.
Their whole family tree. Same thing, but Chavez Jr. never had that. The crazy part is that Chavez Jr. could have been a good boxer. He
could have been.
He showed good. He was good. He was a bigger guy. Good. He had a knockout punch. He could take punches, but just not disciplined.
No.
It almost seemed like he liked the fame more than anything else.
Yes, and he liked to party,
and he still does.
Yeah.
This is I need to make money.
Look,
fight.
His dad, in one of his last few fights, became a meme because
putting his head down.
Yes, Chavez Jr. He pretty much quit. He said he didn't want to continue, and that for someone like Julio Cesar Chavez, is just disgraceful. But there's other guys that are coming back. Oscar De La Hoya is coming back. He's fighting June 3rd on a new platform, Triller, which is shelling out a lot of money. And from what I hear, he's fighting an MMA guy. The fight is probably going to take place at Cowboy Stadium in Dallas. So I've been told. It's not going to be Conor McGregor. I'll let you know that. It's not going to be Conor McGregor. However,
it is a big...
It is a big MMA name. I was asked to please not divulge as to who it is, but it's a huge name in MMA.
Don't worry. If you guys want to find out, Jimmy Boy LA, Instagram, couple drinks, tequila shots, you'll get it out of him.
But you know what? Oscar took a selfie the other day and he posted it on Instagram. He looks in shape.
Oh, yeah. I mean, six-pack.
Huge six-pack going. And he's been talking about coming back for quite a while now. This is not something that he started talking about the last 2 to 3 months. He's been talking about this for at least a year, if not more. So, we'll see. And good for Oscar. You know why? Because Oscar needs something to keep him focused. He went off the path a few times.
He gets off the path real quick.
So this would be great. And if he does well, good. So he'll be fighting in June. And then we've got other guys that are coming back for exhibition matches. They're not coming back like Oscar, who says he wants to fight the top guys right now. Most of the other guys are coming back for exhibitions. The Chavez Jr. Anderson Silva fight is an exhibition. Not Oscar De La Hoya. He says he's coming back. Yes, this probably will be the first fight against the MMA guy would be an exhibition. But then he really does want to fight. I don't know. We'll see after that.
Yeah, he's too old.
So then
it's not like a heavyweight, that comes back. They're so big they could still get it. Foreman was in there, but I don't know. Good for De La Hoya. Maybe it's good for him to his publicity, get his name back, Golden Boy, and then he can recruit some more fighters.
Yeah.
I've seen him hanging out with Teofimo.
Always good. He's hanging out with Teofimo Lopez, and I think the play is to try and get Teofimo Lopez to sign with Golden Boy.
I think he's been with him.
I think that's where this whole thing is heading.
Because Teofimo's not happy with who's he with, Bob Arum?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he had a fallout with Bob Arum and
so did De La Hoya back in the day.
Everybody does.
Yeah.
Floyd Mayweather Jr., Mikey Garcia. Top Rank is great at building the careers of fighters. So we got Marquez. They don't want to pay him as much as they should.
So we have Marquez, Cotto.
That's right. Juan Manuel Marquez, this guy right here.
That'll still be a good... they're not old
They're
yet.
not old, but that would have been a great fight to see
in the prime.
In their prime.
Yeah. Just like Morales and Varela.
I think Marquez would have needed to go up in weight to fight Miguel Cotto.
Cotto might have been a bit too big for him, a little bit, right?
Yeah, I think Cotto would have been a
Wait
bit too big.
Didn't Cotto fight Pacquiao, though? Did Cotto fight... Pacquiao beat the hell out of him, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Pacquiao just another level.
Cotto Marquez, they're fighting an exhibition. And then we have Marco Antonio Barrera and El Terrible Morales and Eric Morales. Morales Barrera 4 is taking place. July 16th is when they're going to fight. It's going to be an exhibition. But when these two get in the ring...
Oh, geez. That's like a...
I don't care if it's an exhibition. I want to see that. Because these two guys... yes, they're friends now. But let me tell you, there's still something there where...
What's the record? I don't even know. Is it...
I believe it's 2-1 in favor of Barrera.
So Morales, he's still...
trust me. Morales...
is working out right now.
There's a little thorn in his side right now, and he's going to want to do real well against Barrera. By the way, as we record this show right now, there's a press conference going on because Barrera is doing another exhibition fight, and that's going to be taking place in Pico Rivera in the next month or so.
At the sports arena?
Yes, he's fighting Jesus Soto Caras. So that's interesting as well. But yeah, we have a lot of these guys, and you know what? it all started, I think, with, Tyson and Roy Jones. And now a lot of guys are seeing that they can make a lot of money.
I mean, Tyson, what, 20 million just to fight?
Yeah, he turned down 25 million, Mike Tyson did, to fight Evander Holyfield. Afterwards, he said, that fight is happening. So we don't know how much he's actually going to have.
He thought about it. He looked at his bills and stuff. He's like, wait a minute, 25 million?
Yeah, 25 mil? Heck yeah.
I mean, he looked pretty good against Roy Jones. I mean,
Evander Holyfield better wear headgear that fight.
Oh, he better, cover those ears because he's very hungry for those ears. Yeah. But no, Morales Borrera, man, those fights were just amazing. You knew when you watched, you got your money's worth when you watch those fights.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
I mean,
some of the best fights.
It's going to be interesting. All these fights coming up. They're talking about Virgil Ortiz. He wants to fight Errol Spence. Would be a dream fight for him.
Oh wow, that would be a great fight.
I mean, I think he's pushing it too early right now. Yeah, just let him fight a few more fights.
I think he needs,
make some money, fight some more fights.
He's done great. Virgil Ortiz has done great. His last fight with Mo Hooker was a great fight, but he needs to step it up as far as the level of opponents. I think it would be a big step up to fight Errol Spence Jr. right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it'll be like Canelo. I mean, when he fought Mayweather.
When he fought Floyd, he'll learn. He'll learn from that.
He'll learn.
He'll definitely learn.
And like Adriana said with Fino Boxing, she said that it won't be a big lot. Like that wasn't a big, but still, you lose. You can have that zero.
Yeah.
I mean, Canelo could have a zero on that. Undefeated. It's different.
Yes.
Which there's only who's the only fighter Mayweather, or he's the only one?
No, Rocky Marciano.
Yeah, back in the day. Yeah, but
back in the day,
right now,
Floyd always wanted to talk about nobody beat him. Then yet again, I think Jose Luis Castillo beat him the first time.
I think De La Hoya beat him.
That was also a very.
I saw the fight again. I thought De La Hoya beat him, and I think there's a couple fights that I think he won that he got robbed in. But that fight for sure, I watched it like 4 times, and I said, I think De La Hoya won this fight. It looked like. But anyways, well, we'll see. I mean, we got a lot of fighting, a lot of baseball. We got March Madness. We got the Masters, which we're gonna go do our Masters.
Yeah, we're gonna go.
We got Michelada Fridays.
We got Michelada Fridays starting back up again. Really excited about that.
We'll be at Dodger Stadium. We'll be back in the stadium. I think even the Lakers are having fans. We're going to the next tier. So that'll be open up. I mean, man, a lot of things are opening up. Great for sports and just for everybody and peace of mind in the world.
Yeah, it'll be fun. It's looking to be a really fun summer coming up.
Oh man, the Dodger game started. I gotta go.
Oh, you gotta go? Okay, I guess it's time to call it quits.
Well, that's our show, guys. We wanted to bring you some more info, some more insight, more good stuff happening. Make sure you watch Jaime Mota on Fox Sports, Fox Deportes, this weekend, right?
This weekend, I've got the call of Braves and Phillies on Saturday morning.
That's a good game. That'll be a good game.
That's a good game.
They're supposed to be both good. Yeah, that's going to be good.
And then after that, my buddies Adrian Garcia Marquez and Edgar Gonzalez.
Cone Dodgers?
Adrian's brother, El Titan, is on the call as well for Dodgers and Rockies.
Oh, cool. Awesome. Well, with that said, guys, see you next week. It's all about LA.
You, baby.